Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alif Muhammad Farhan bin Hanafi. I am the group leader of Group 3, and today we will be presenting about netball rules and ethics of netball. Now, our group members consist of me, Alif Muhammad Farhan, Joey Liu Pui, Nur Zakia, Nur Aisyah, Nurul Nasha, Nur Akila, Muhammad Shafril, and Muhammad Akhtar. Now we will be presenting about rules of netball. The first rule of netball is the team. The teams shall consist of 7 players. There must be at least 5 players, one of whom must play center to enable the fixture to go ahead.
Okay, for the offside rules, each player in the court has been assigned to their specific position. Each position can enter a specific area only based on their position. As the example, goalkeeper can enter area 1 and 2, goal defense can enter area 1, 2 and 3, wing defense can enter area 2 and 3, center can enter area 3, 4 and 5, wing attack can enter area 3 and 4, goal attack can enter area 3, 4 and 5, and goal shooter can enter area 4 and 5. Okay. When any of the player enter their restricted area, it will be an offside and the penalty pass will be given to the opponent. Okay, the next rule is footwork. A player can receive the ball with both feet grounded or shown to catch the ball and land on 2 feet simultaneously. Okay, they may take a step in any direction with 1 foot but not both foot, and pivot on the spot with the other foot. Okay, if the player make more than 1 step while holding the ball, it will be a stepping and the penalty pass will be given to the opponent. Okay, the next rule is obstruction. Okay, when the players are defending, they can extend their arms to intercept the ball, but they must be at least 3 feet away, approximately 0.9 meter from the opponent. If they guarding the ball less than 3 feet, that will count as an obstruction and the penalty pass will be given, and the player has to stand next to the opponent. Okay, the next rule is obstruction on a player who doesn't have the ball. Obstruction on a player who doesn't have the ball can also occur if a player accidentally or intentionally forces contact with opponent. Okay, when that happens, a penalty pass will be given to the opponent and the player has stand next to the opponent. Okay, the next rule is contact and contest. When attacking, defending or playing the ball, opposing player may come into physical contact with each other. Okay, in condition, players do not interfere with their respective games or use their bodies to gain an unfair advantage over their opponents. It is considered as contest and the game will continue.
So now I'm going to present the next rule of netball, which is penalties against the player. So when it comes to penalties against the player, the infringer must stand out of play. It means that the infringer must move quickly to the position indicated and stand next to the penalty taker, but the infringer must not get in the way. And the infringer cannot move or speak until the ball is released. So once in position, the player taking the penalty might play the ball immediately or wait for the infringer to leave play. So if the player chooses to play the ball immediately, the infringer cannot play or intercept the penalty pass until the ball is released. And if the infringer does that, the penalty pass will be taken. So next is taking free passes and penalties. So the player has 3 seconds to take the free pass or penalty after setting it, and if the player thinks another player could do a better job with the ball, he or she must put it back on the floor. Means that the player cannot walk towards the player to pass the ball or hand it to them. Next, the free pass or penalty can be taken by any player who is allowed to be in that area. Next is shooting. So only GS and GA can score goals for the team, and they must be fully inside the goal circle to shoot. Next rule is over a third. A player must touch or catch the ball before it can be thrown over a third of the court. It means that the ball cannot cross over two transverse lines. And if the players cannot able to do so, a free pass is taken from the location where the ball is crossed the second transverse line.
So the next rule is replaying the ball. So a player may not replay the ball. Specifically, the player could not or shall not lose control of the ball and pick it up again if it has not been touched by another player. Catch a rebound from a shoot on goal if the ball has not touched the post or another player, or toss the ball into the air and catch it again without it being touched by another player. So the next one is short pass. So what is short pass? Then the netball short pass moves the ball from the hands of the thrower to those of the receiver. There must be good enough space for an opposing player to intercept the ball when the player passes the ball. And the new netball rule short pass is now active and in force, and it will make it easier for players in a netball team to pass the ball to each other. The next rule is jewellery. Players must remove all jewellery before the start of a match to avoid injury to other players or he himself as a player. This rule includes all ear piercings, including piercings high on the earlobe. Covering piercings up with plastic is not adequate. The only exception is a wedding band or medical alert bracelet, which can be worn but must be taped up. And failure to remove jewellery will result in a player not being allowed on court. Next rule is nails. Nails must be kept short. As a guideline, nails should be longer than nails should not be longer than 1 millimeter long and should not be seen from the underside of the finger. This to avoid other players from injury. This is not a popular rule, but it will be strictly enforced to avoid any unnecessary injuries occurring to players taking part in the league. And players will not be allowed to start the match with long nails. And the last of the rules is guidelines on enforcing the rules itself. As you all know, although we are all out to have some fun playing netball, unfortunately there are some rules of the game that we need to stick up to. For the first week or two, umpires may be lenient and give you second chance to correct a technical fault, such as stepping onto the court as you take a throw in instead of giving the free pass to the opposing team. Umpires will also explain any decisions that you do not understand if you ask them politely, or they may ask you to wait until half or full time to allow them to concentrate fully on the game while being played. The rules will be followed more closely as the league progresses and as you all progresses as players. The exception to these rules, which affect player safety, such as contract and obstruction, which will be enforced from the start of the league. And lastly, please ask your umpires if you would like any further clarifications of the rules. That's all from me. Thank you.
Alright, for the second part of the presentation, I'll be talking about the ethics of netball. First and foremost, before jumping right into the main contents, I'll briefly explain about the ethics, which is the moral principle that governs a person's behavior or the conduct of an activity. So it is basically the same in netball, where ethics exists to protect everyone within the game and portray the behavior expected from all people within the netball family. And by sharing the netball ethics code across the sport, they believe that they can uphold the highest standards of integrity and ensure that the reputation of the sport is and remains at a high level. Next, there are 5 core values that need to be followed by all netball players in order to keep fair play. This includes integrity, respect, responsibility, fairness, and safety. In accordance to the 5 core values, the first ethics in netball is to fully comply with the Child Safety in Netball Code of Conduct. This Child Safety in Netball Code of Conduct outlines the expected behavior for interaction within netball in Victoria and aligns with the Child Safety in Netball policy. The primary aim of this code is to protect and safeguard children and young people. Furthermore, the second ethics is to respect the rights, dignity, and worth of others, regardless of their gender, ability, or cultural background. This is simply to ensure that no one gets discriminated against in a game of netball. Next, I will be passing to the next presenter to continue the presentation.
I will continue on the ethics of playing netball. Be honest, courteous, and fair in all your interactions with other people. Be professional and take ownership of your actions. 5th, ensure you deliver high quality service. Observe and uphold netball victory standards, laws, rules, and policies. So I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, I will continue for the number 7. So, firstly, operate within the rules and regulation of Netball Victoria Affiliate Association, leagues and club. So, you must understand the rules and do not try to do anything against the rules. So, next one is number 8. Do not use your involvement in netball to promote your own belief, behavior, or practices. As an example, you should not show a bad influence to them. Okay, let's continue with number 9. You should demonstrate a high degree of individual responsibility, especially when dealing with person under 18 years of age, as you are an example to them, because they will see you as a role model. And lastly, from me, try to avoid unaccompanied and unobserved activities with person under 18 years of age wherever possible. So, next presenter.
Moreover, the other ethics are you should refrain from any behavior that may bring Netball Association into dispute, like having a fight. Next, provide a safe environment for the conduct of the activity and show concern and caution towards others who may be sick or injured. For the example, the organisation that handles the game must make sure that they have physiology or jabatan tertanam awam in case that might occur any injury. In conclusion, people who are involved indirectly or directly must take care of their behaviour and be prepared for all the possibilities so that the game can be done smoothly.